People come to our religious community for community, connection, for those deeper conversations that we maybe just don't get in our everyday life. That's why people come. What do I hope as a minister here for when you leave? I hope you feel renewed, re-energized, rejuvenated, and ready to engage fully with the world around us and live in to who you are, to who you fully feel you are. And the worship theme for this month of June is Renewal. And I think as we head into the summer, renewal is a good thing to think about, because it is a reset in the church, in the school year, the church year, and for many of us, things just shift as the weather gets better. We maybe spend more time outdoors, we plan trips. So I invite you to think about, how do you want to renew yourself this coming summer? We will soon get back into the routine of the new school year, the new work year, the new church year. How do you want to come back renewed into the new church year? For 4 years, when I was serving in Texas, I was the minister at the elementary school camp, week-long camp, for the elementary school children, Unitarian Universalist elementary school children in Texas. And we used to have about 60 or 70 would come to this camp. And it was a week-long camp out in this fairly rustic, basic place in July in Texas. Plenty of blue sky, very little rain, blinding heat. And the children, when they first came, we had from 2 o'clock till 3:30 every afternoon, we had what was called turtle time, where they had to go to their bunk, not leave it, sit there and not talk. The children hated it for the first day. Sometimes the second day. The third day, after being outside and playing and being exhausted and with activities going all day, they say, "When's turtle time coming? When's turtle time coming? Can we start turtle time now?" I felt the same way. When's turtle time coming? And I like that idea of, can you imagine if we had that at 2 o'clock to 3:30, we just took a break, a mini Sabbath from our day, to relax, to switch off the technology, perhaps to connect with your breath. You know, and in many Spanish-speaking cultures, and in the country of Spain, they have siesta. A lovely idea, and if you go to Spain, you'll see shops are closed, and everything kind of winds down. I remember seeing an interview with Julio Iglesias on, this was on British television, and he was asked, "What does mañana mean?" He said, "Well, mañana means maybe this afternoon, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week." And there was a Scottish actor, and I can't remember his name, but he was on, and the interviewer turned to him and said, "Have you a similar word for that in Scottish language?" And he said, "We have no word to convey that sense of urgency." And I do find life in Scotland much more relaxing than life in the States, despite the rain, or maybe because of the rain, I don't know. But I invite you all, when you think of renewal, how do you want to take a break from your life? Because I think it's very, very hard to renew ourselves amidst the chaos and the busyness of our work lives, our school lives, our parenting lives. How do you want to this summer just take a break and renew yourself? And I think, what can religious community do for you this week, this summer, next year, to help you renew with all the trials and tribulations that we all know are going on in the world? Because I believe that Unitarian Universalist religious communities are places of renewal, hope, rejuvenation, and inspiration. And the German film director, Werner Herzog, says, whether something lasts or not has nothing to do with whether it's made of stone or steel or wool or fabric. A house built in all wood can be a monument that lasts for hundreds of years because it seduces people to live in it, use it, and maintain it. Eternity depends on whether people are willing to take care of something. In Greece, ordinary white houses are repainted every year. Today, we are often told to use materials and structures that are free of maintenance, but no building can be neglected entirely. We need to constantly renew our relationships to the house we live in, to our friends, and to our own bodies, all the time, every day. We need to renew ourselves, our connection to ourselves and one another every day. Thich Nhat Hanh, the late Vietnamese Buddhist, said, breath is a bridge which connects life to consciousness, which unites your body to your thoughts. Breath is the bridge which connects life to consciousness, which unites your body to your thoughts. I think it's really interesting when you do breathe in, you're breathing into your lungs, and your lungs surround your heart. And so when you breathe in, that's one of the ways of connecting your mind to our heart. And we breathe every 5 seconds, roughly. That's 17,000 times a day. I didn't just do that in my head. I planned it out ahead of time. What about taking a mini Sabbath where we just connect up to our breath? What if we take a mini Sabbath every hour to connect with our breath, paying attention to one breath from all the hustle and bustle of life, and do it especially when you're busy? The late Reverend Harry Schofield, the Unitarian Universalist minister from the San Francisco church, he used to have a spiritual practice of memorizing poetry for an hour every day, except when he was busy and stressed. Then he'd do it for 2 hours a day. So I invite you to do that. If you're feeling stressed or busy, can you take a Sabbath of a breath, of a 5-minute walk, a 10-minute shower, or maybe a 5-minute shower and a 10-minute walk would be a better thing to do. We are in California after all, we're not in Scotland. What renews you? And can you plan to take that a little bit extra this summer and take that break? I invite you all to think about how you want to connect your mind, your breath, with your heart. Because ultimately, what we are as a religious community is how can we expand our heart to be more compassionate, to be more loving, to be more caring to a world that badly needs us.